Spider-Man, Brand New Day. That is what we are going to be talking about in this video. Everything we know so far, cast, everyone that's kind of been confirmed as far as villains, and that amazing suit reveal that Marvel did put out. It was absolutely amazing. But before we get into anything, guys, please, for me, like this video, subscribe to the page, hit that noti bell. Alright, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Now this for me, obviously you see the shirt, you see everything behind me. I am a huge Spider-Man fan, huge superhero fan in general, but Spider-Man is literally my favorite superhero of all time. The only one that even comes close is Nightwing. So this movie definitely I'm very excited for, and everything that we're hearing about the movie just makes me more and more excited. So when it first was getting conceptualized, we kind of thought it was going to be street level. Then you hear about all these characters. You hear about all the villains that are getting confirmed. Then you have Punisher. Then you have Hulk. And then you go, oh wow, wait, maybe this won't be a street level Spider-Man movie. However, as in one of my earlier videos did show, Kevin Feige came out and confirmed this. It will be a street level Spider-Man story. Now, how is this going to work? We already have Tombstone confirmed, Scorpion confirmed, a couple other minor Spider-Man villains confirmed, like Boomerang. And again, with Hulk and Punisher also being in the movie, that's a lot to kind of unpack. However, we're going to get a ton of Spider-Man, and I personally think this movie is going to be similar to the Batman, in where we may not get a ton of Peter Parker. It may be fully about Spider-Man, which I think is going to be absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, we'll get Peter in some scenes, but I think it will be much more heavily focused on Spider-Man and what he's going through, especially after the events of No Way Home. And the fact that this movie comes out right before Doomsday, which I personally think Spider-Man is in. I know it hasn't been confirmed, but I really think you can't have that big of a movie and not have the biggest Marvel character in it. But all that out of the way, let's get into Spider-Man, what I think is going to happen in the movie, and just overall thoughts, and also things that are already confirmed. Like I said, Punisher's confirmed, Hulk has finally gotten confirmed. I don't believe they actually confirmed Mr. Negative yet. I know a lot of the speculation is with Mr. Negative, which makes sense. They were calling for an Asian actor, which again, that's Mr. Negative. And with Aunt May dying in No Way Home, you need someone to run Feast. And if any of you have played Spider-Man games, obviously you know the person who kind of takes over Feast and is running Feast is Martin Lee, who is Mr. Negative. And I think that could really set up a cool dynamic where, unlike in that game where you have Otto Octavius be kind of the mentor to Peter, in this you can have Martin Lee kind of take on that role, right? Like, Tony Stark is gone, Aunt May is gone, everyone Peter knows is gone. There is no Happy Hogan for him. And yes, they're going to remember Spider-Man, but how many of them are going to come around and interact with Spider-Man? A lot of people are off planet. They're not here anymore. So this is really going to be Spider-Man's story. And what I think is going to happen is, it's been rumored that there's going to be some type of gang war. I know they've been filming some things. I kind of think that Tombstone is going to be kind of battling it out for control of New York, whether that's with Wilson Fisk or after Daredevil Born Again Season 2, if Wilson Fisk is no longer mayor of New York and there's kind of an even bigger power vacuum. I really think Tombstone is going to try to take control of that, and I think the other major player in that is going to be Martin Lee, but he'll be more so behind the scenes, and you won't really find out about him being Mr. Negative until at least halfway through the film, maybe even 3/4 of the way through the film. It'll be like used as a shock, similar to how Doc Ock was in the Spider-Man PS4 game, the first one. That way you can really feel that emotion from Peter being betrayed, feeling like, wow, this person that have been clinging to, that I've been relying on, now just let me down and betrayed me. It's like Mysterio all over again, except even worse. because this will be someone who will be running Feast as well. So it'll be a pretty personal thing too. Um, so I think that's kind of how that'll play out. I know there's been some speculation on the Hulk turning back to the Savage Hulk. I really think that is going to be a result of something Mr. Negative does. I also think that Mr. Negative is going to be crucial in creating Scorpion. I think they're going to use some type of gamma radiation. What I personally hope they do is something similar to Spider Man 1994, where, yes, he does mutate, but he also has a suit. I know in some iterations he mutates, and then in other iterations it's just a suit. I want both of them combined because I want him to have the powers and abilities of a scorpion, but also obviously have that suit so he's not just a giant walking scorpion. I definitely like that humanoid form for sure. And especially, like, Scorpion is one of my favorite Spider Man villains. He actually might be my very favorite. So, that being said, I'm really excited for this movie, and that's kind of how I think it'll play out, where Mr. Negative will use gamma radiation to create the Scorpion. I think the beginning conflict will more so be Spider-Man against these smaller tier villains like Boomerang. It'll be more of a montage scene, um, and then it'll show him kind of taking them down, and then maybe interact with Scorpion, fight Scorpion, maybe even lose to Scorpion. Then the Punisher comes in, they will have some sort of fight, but in the end, they'll end up on the same team. And then Mr. Negative's one of his ultimate goals will be using gamma radiation, which will somehow affect the Hulk. Maybe Bruce Banner is a guest lecturer or something like that, or even a professor at Empire State University, which is where Peter normally goes to college. So I think that could really create a cool thing where, hey, Peter might create this new mentor, which now, oh wow, he knows he's the Hulk, and he's going to have to then fight him. And then when he finds out that Martin Lee is the one responsible, that'll create even more tension. So again, all that being said, I kind of think that's how this movie is going to play out. And if that's the case, I think that is going to be the best Spider-Man movie we've ever gotten. We do know that the director of the movie, it's Dustin Daniel Craig, I believe that's his name. He's the one who did Shang-Chi. So the fights in this movie will be spectacular, and the fact that we are getting a Punisher Spider-Man movie where they're going to be fighting and then probably teaming up, I would say 99% sure that they are going to team up. Similar to Spider-Man 1994, again, that's kind of how I judge things. I do the same thing with DC. I think the blueprint is really there with animation, and I think if they just do something similar to what the animated series did, it will be the best Spider-Man movie ever, especially when you add in there, hey, we have Tombstone, we have Scorpion, Martin Lee, those smaller tier villains, so we see Spider-Man being Spider-Man, taking down big bads in some type of montage-esque thing. And then we have some really good action sequences that you can get with Scorpion, Tombstone, and Mr. Negative. I think it'll kind of be similar to the game where, hey, montage, take down a lower level, then introduce maybe Scorpion, Punisher, fight them, then you have him take down Tombstone, then maybe he and Punisher team up, take down Scorpion, and then they kind of go from there, probably end up fighting the Hulk, and then find out, hey, Mr. Lee is the one who did this, Martin Lee, Mr. Negative. He's the one who kind of did all of this. And then I think Punisher probably, hopefully, is going to end up getting hurt in some way. Same with the Hulk, to where the final fight is going to be Spider-Man versus Mr. Negative. I really like it when the final fight is kind of more so a one-on-one type of thing, especially because this is a Spider-Man movie. I want him to be in the spotlight. And please, please, please bring back battle damage suits, similar to Tobey's. Especially in the first Spider-Man movie and the third Spider-Man movie, the battle damage was amazing, where it had half the mask kind of split open and then you could see all the tears in his suit. That was amazing. I want that so badly. And again, you could sell more toys that way too, because I remember buying a battle damaged Tobey Maguire action figure when that movie came out. So again, it's kind of winning all the way around because I know a lot of the fans would love to see that. Tom is rumored to have multiple suits. Um, and they actually released some images that I will be showing here on screen of what the suit's going to look like. And I don't know about any of you, but this might be the best Spider-Man suit we've ever gotten. I know Amazing Spider-Man 2, whether you love or hate that movie, I think a lot of people can agree that's probably the best Spider-Man suit we've ever gotten in live action. This suit that Tom is going to wear, I think it might beat that. It looks spectacular. It reminds me of Spectacular Spider-Man and Spider-Man 1994, the animated series, of those suits. Which, again, that's kind of what I'm measuring it against. And the fact that it looks like that, now I know the spider on the back of the suit is a little different than an animation, but again, I think it looks perfect. I love the blue and how much it pops. The red is more of like a bright red versus more of a dull red. That's why I personally like it more than the Amazing Spider-Man 2, that suit. I definitely like it more because that one's more of a muted red and more of a dull blue, whereas this one, it's very bright, very vibrant, and I really, really like that. Overall, I'm really, really excited for this movie. Again, as we get more news about this movie, I'm going to continue reporting on it. I know they recently shot a couple action scenes. There was something where Spider Man was on top of some sort of transport or tank. And that scene, literally seeing it be shot, reminded me of the video game and stopping all those tanks and just seeing him doing the Spider Man pose on top of the tank. It was spectacular, pun intended. But yeah, that's overall. I'm just really, really excited for this movie. Again, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. But let me know what all of you think down in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, like this video, subscribe to the page, hit that noti bell. And until next time, I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.